Sometimes I joke. We had Thanksgiving. I have friends here. I would joke them and say, "Did you find it? Did you find it?" And then they would ask me, "What did I find? What do I have to find? Did you find what Jesus said? Seek ye first the kingdom." That's the first thing He wants to find. And my sister-in-law said, "What? Seek ye first the kingdom, and everything that you want will be added unto you." You know, me, I got everything added to me because I seek first.
Wow, that
It didn't
means
get added to you because you did seek.
example of this church really getting into you, that even in your jokes.
Getting into it. You know? I want to ask everybody, did you find it? Did you find it? And I said, the reason why nothing got added to you, you never found it. I found it. They were saying, when you find the kingdom, you find the king. And now when you find the king, you know what Jesus said about God and Him? We are not just servants. Okay? First, sometimes He calls us servants. But other times He calls us friends. Other times He calls us adopted children. We are children. We are children of the King. We are friends of the King, not only children. Because some children are not friends of their own parent or of their own father. We are not only children, we are friends of the King. When you're a friend of the King and you have the favor of the King, I mean, you cannot be miserable. You're not supposed to be broke and poor. You know? Have you ever seen a friend of the King who's like broke? I know, I mean, it's not 100% thing. There are some exceptions, but again, you find the King, you have the favor of the King. Like I said, one day of favor is worth more than a lifetime of hard work. There was a hurricane in Florida recently, and the hurricane went over my house. And I talked to God. I said, "God, you let me buy this house a year ago. You take care of it." And sure enough, God did. My neighbor's boat were under the water, sink all over the house. My boat is floating right there next to the house. It looks like it got car wash. It's so clean. Big trees were falling all over the whole place. It's like a war zone. There was a big palm tree that fell right in front of my house, on the side of the house. Didn't hit my house. It could have wrecked my house. And I'm right by the water, and they said there are gonna be like 15, like, what do you call that? Surge, you know? Water surge. No, there was no flood in my house. My house was unharmed. That's favor. I learned, there's another guy, Bill Johnson. Okay, I like his thing too. He said there's an area in the mountain where a snake cannot go over. It's like an invisible line in a mountain, where the snake cannot go any higher than that. I don't know, maybe it's the oxygen or something. He cannot breathe higher than that. So when you're over that line on the mountain, the snake cannot harm you. You're beyond reach. And you can see that in people's lives. For some reason, it's a very clear pattern in people's lives. Sometimes they call it like good luck or good fortune or whatever. I learned that faith is more important than understanding, because people like to understand everything. And I have experience where there are many things I do not understand. I just have faith in it, and it goes in my favor. I don't have to understand it. You're just in this flow of God's grace. You meet the right people, you make the right decision. That's why I really am not that interested in teaching people. And I know some people might not come back or might quit. Like when I started talking about God on my Facebook, people started unfriending me. But then I kept on talking about God, and now I have 1.7 million followers. God just changed the people that followed me.